Welcome to the LA Business Podcast, a forum for business owners and senior executives to share the experiences about the elements that drive their success. Your host is Robert Brill, CEO of Brill Media.co.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the LA Business Podcast. Today our guest is Han, co-founder of Novacall. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here.
So we connected over LinkedIn a few weeks ago. We have a lot of people, a lot of senior level people that we're connected, that are joining our connections on LinkedIn. And I'm looking at your profile. You've spent some time working as a digital acquisition intern at Citi, and you went to found, are you the founder or co-founder of Novacall?
I'm the co-founder of Novocall.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about what Novacall is, and your value proposition is fantastic on LinkedIn. Tell us a little bit about it. So before I let you talk, sorry, I'm really excited about your tool. I think your tool is fantastic. It has a lot of great opportunity, especially for the work that we do, which is lead generation using paid media on Facebook. So tell us a little bit about your tool.
So, right, actually began when I was talking to customers when I was having a digital agency as a side hustle when I was in my college years. When I talked to those customers that I have, they sort of reflected to me a common problem that they prefer a call over a live chat or an email, simply because call is the channel with the highest conversion rate. At that point, I didn't thought that it's something that I could want to venture on. And then I met my wonderful co-founders, two wonderful co-founders during my college years. And then we worked together and identified singularly that this is a problem that is prevalent to many other industries. So I knocked on doors to like 50 travel agencies, and I talked to them door to door, made some rejections. But at the end of the day, as I was validating the idea behind, I found out that there's a lot of industries that is selling highly complex or expensive product or services. At the end of the day, they need a relationship. They need to build a relationship, and then they could close the sales. They generally, the characteristic is that they would have a sales team. Their price point would be anywhere above $2,000 per year. And they have other channels such as email, sometimes live chat, phone calls, and meeting face-to-face. Of course, that's pre-COVID period. So we thought that, hey, is there any solution out there that could increase that kind of a conversation that a customer would want to have with the sales team? We also found that with the call channel, because of working hours, because of manual distribution, the normal response time that you would have is about 42 hours. Meaning to say, a customer that sends his request, his intent for a callback, for example, or he wants the sales team to reply to them, it takes 42 hours for the sales team to get them back. So we thought that, hey, 42 hours is way too long. As a co-founder and in charge of sales and BD, if I were able to talk to a customer 5 seconds when he just submitted the lead, the intent that he is having is probably going to be much higher than 42 hours later. And if I can talk to him within that 5 seconds, my odds of converting him or having at least an appointment is going to be much higher than 42 hours later. So that was how the idea started. And then we went on to have a slew of other products that fits this whole philosophy.
So the use case is this. You're running, we're an ad buying firm. We run lead ads on Facebook. And it also applies to website, but let's talk about the lead ad on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Run a lead ad on Facebook, and immediately as the phone number comes in from Facebook, your system will generate a call out to the person who just submitted their information and will generate a call out to me. And through that call, I will be connected directly to the person who just shared their information 5 seconds later. And I get to talk to the person who's very much interested in my product at this very moment.
Right, exactly. So we are popular in the industry of property. There's quite a lot of use case on the real estate in the US. So agents, realtors, not sure about the word that you guys use to describe property agents there, but they use it a lot for the listing that they have, and they put it there. Again, the idea is simply to want to talk to the customer when they just saw the listing.
Now, I understand this also works on the website too, right? Like there's instead of a chat box, it could be a pop-up box. I mean, it's the same functionality as a chat box at the bottom of the screen, but instead of initiating a chat, it initiates a callback, yes?
Right, right. So as I mentioned before, we have customers who used live chat before, but they thought that, hey, their sales team are running around, or they are just not, they just don't want to deal with high volume, low quality leads. They want to pre-qualify those customers and have a callback instead. So they see us as an alternative to a chatbot or live chat.
And you know, the functionality, why I think this is interesting is it elevates any company who uses this technology, because I've had that technology deployed on me with Amazon. Like if I call Amazon customer service just as a regular customer, I think it was Amazon, it might be Google, it might be Microsoft, one of those companies, or probably all of them really. At the end of the day, you enter your phone number and you get a call back in a few minutes, and someone from chat support is there. It's a really seamless, frictionless transaction, the ability to get in touch with customer support. So the functionality is there. So to me, it feels like if I use this with my business, it elevates the level of service that we have on our business. It just makes it a lot better of an experience for our customers.
Yeah. Initially, we use it as a form of a performance marketing tool for this marketing and sales. We realized that there is a bunch of people who use it for support. So we got to talk to them, and it is very interesting. So basically, they have a very small sales team. It's not a sales team. It's rather, it's at a school, and it's an admissions team. So they just want to talk to prospective students. So how they use it is that because their team is small, there's only 3 people that's going to face thousands of and tens of thousands of prospective students, right? Of course, there are a lot of content online. They could read it, or prospective students could read it. But there are some that because you're going to fly over, you're going to have to change your lifestyle for the next 1, 2 years, or 3 years, depending on how long the course is, the duration of the college is. So people they still want to talk to whoever is representing the school, especially now where there's no such thing as a fair, education fair, at least at this part of the world. So how they do it is the sales team just open up pockets of time every day, maybe 2-3 hours, and they just put Novacall in for people to schedule a time with them, so that the schedule and rescheduling of the time, and they could get information on regarding these prospective students, what they want before the call happens. So they even took down their phone number on the website and just let everybody be able to schedule a call that has anything to do with the admissions. Yep.
Amazing. So how long did it take you to develop this technology?
Right. I wouldn't say that the technology has been finished. So it's an ongoing process. We change and develop along with the company, and the company will also influence founders, right? So we have the very first MVP out last year, October, right? So it was launched then. About 40 to 50% of our clients are actually in the States.
Yeah.
Right. So we have we are operating in about 44 countries now. Some countries that I don't even speak their language. So we rely quite heavily on partners because they understand the market better than we ever could. Yeah. So if you were to put a time as a startup, so we've moved fast. I think the conception of the idea was around 2018, late 2018. We had an alpha testing in September 2019. So that's about 9 months. And when we launched on October, yeah, so 9 months, and then October is the global launch.
Amazing. So you're based in Singapore. I love Singapore. I didn't spend enough time there, but we were on a vacation there, and I gotta say, the merlion, beautiful. All those, just.
I think you only remember the food, right?
I do remember the food. The story I told you is I had the best Indian food of my life, and I've never been to India, so this is the closest, right? In what is it, India Town or Little India?
Little India, yeah.
Little India in Singapore. Oh man, I remember that. Like that was a very memorable meal. Anyway, so Singapore is beautiful. It's so lush and green. How did you get to the point where you have so many clients in the United States and all over the world? Like, how do you scale that?
Right. I think there is a platform called those lifetime deal platform. There is such as an Appsumo. I think we went on that first.
Mm-hmm.
So the branding is there, and then it grew. So it grew organically with the branding.
Wait, so let's take a step back. So you partner with Appsumo. So Appsumo promoted you. Yes.
Yeah, for a lifetime deal that we launched.
Got it.
Yeah,
that was a good launching pad for you.
Yeah, at a point in time, we just want to validate and know where the customer could be. So at a point in time, we only had 10 customers, paying customers, that we had with our alpha launch. So, okay, everything seems to work. People are paying us, they're happy. Let's try and find out where the market could be, because it's a SaaS, right? So we just try Appsumo, and then it just grew. And it sort of let us know where we could go organically over the next few months, because of the branding of our branding. When you put a sort of a chat function, if you've ever seen on the website, there is a powered by there. And then we use and capitalize on that. So we are fortunate we could actually work with, or rather consult with a founder of Zopim. Have you heard of Zopim or Zendesk?
Definitely Zendesk.
Yeah. So Zendesk acquired Zopim. So Zopim was one of the forefront of a live chat, and it's also founded in Singapore. So we asked them about their journey of how they grew organically. So they didn't fundraise at all, and they grew mainly in the States. Yeah, and they got acquired by Zendesk. Yeah, so we asked them how they grew organically, because the nature of the business then was very similar to how live chat is, but now it's a bit different. Our type of customers are getting bigger. So the organic inquiries that is coming to us is no longer the small mom and pop shop anymore. It's more of a bigger organization whereby they have a systematic problem with the lead response time, when they have so many branches and they share the same website. So the lead come in, they have to manually distribute, and then distribute to the right person in charge of the products. So it's a two-step process, and it got so long that they thought that, hey, maybe a call would make sense, and they tried Novacall.
So what was and I want to come back to the growth story. What was the technology that you solved for? Like why didn't this exist before in this form?
I think there was different, or rather, I think it's the advancement of, or rather, the availability of technology that couldn't happen 10 years ago, right? Google actually had a callback function before, but people abused it, and then they closed off this feature 10 years ago. I think it was 2008 or something like that at that point in time, right? So what exactly happened? I think there was a crisscross of many technology. Of course, cloud is one of them, right? And then next is the VoIP system that has been made readily available by people like Twilio, Nexmo, yeah, like such. So we don't have to deal directly with the telcos one by one of each country. We could leverage on such technology. So it removes the barrier that a startup could now do instead of 10 years ago, whereby you have to own maybe the hard asset, physical assets to do it.
That sounds very complicated and
Oh, right. So basically, with the advancement of plug technology, basically, now we are at a stage whereby we can innovate at a lower cost, at a lower barrier, and bring it to the masses.
Okay, so you did the promotion with Appsumo. So are you following a playbook like the founder of Zendesk and that other technology? They gave you some pointers on how to grow your business.
Yeah. So they grew organically throughout the whole 5 years. They had a kind of a buffer in between. The first 2 years, they actually were college students. So they don't have to worry too much about the bills at that point in time. At least that's what the founder did tell me. So they actually told me that the turning point is when they start charging their customers. Before it was free, and then when they start to charge, people take them seriously. And then it grew then organically. That was the main drive away. So we used that and we start charging from day one. Is there any other playbooks? I guess it was an amalgamation of a lot of SaaS founders that we talked to or read online on how to operate in this space. Because call back there wasn't much of people that we could learn from, right? And I guess we are just fortunate that we got funded by 500 startups.
Tell us about
year.
that. Tell us about the process of the funding process. Anything you want to share about that?
It's arduous. It's probably worse now in this COVID situation. So basically, we were invited for Y Combinator twice. So the first time we flew over to California, so Silicon Valley. We had to go to Mountain View. Unfortunately, at that point in time, we didn't get to get in. I already forgotten what the reason was. I think we corrected it. So I had a visit to LA and San Jose. And then we got invited again in the next round, which is, I think, 6 months later. So then we gone to India. At a point in time, they were saying that we weren't growing quick enough or wasn't sure about the numbers. Again, that was part of the fundraising process via the accelerator route, right? We also talked to many other VCs within the network. So Singapore is fortunate. I mean, or rather, we are fortunate to be in Singapore, right? So in the whole Southeast Asia, Singapore is the one with the most money around, or the VC is headquartered there, looking for deals. So we also have offers there, and then we also then got in touch with 500 startups, and then they were very quick in executing the deal. Their terms although it weren't the best, but the branding and the support, we thought that it might make more sense, right? So the process of getting the VC, non-accelerator route, you have to send out a lot of emails, you have to face rejection. The rejection could hurt you, and it's a stab to your heart, and you just have to pluck it out and say yes, yes, yes. And you just have to move on, right? So I personally talked to about close to 100, and then I focused on BD, business development. And then another of my co-founder, JJ, he then took the helm and went to focus solely on fundraising. He talked to about another 100. So yeah, so that took us 10 months.
So you're saying you got funded by 500 startups. Is like, did you have to court 500 different startups, or is 500 startups like a singular group of people?
Oh, right. Sorry about that. I should have given the introduction about them. So there are a few well-known accelerators out there in the world, in Silicon Valley especially. So the first one is called Y Combinator. So I think they have at least 7 unicorn startups. I can't remember which one owns a part in Airbnb. I can't remember. They're so successful, right? So 500 startups is another a VC. In terms of the deal size that they have, it's, I think, the second in the world.
So it's a group. It's a singular group of
yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay.
They name themselves 500 startups.
And so it sounds like from, I haven't been involved in the venture funding world, but my understanding is a lot of what these venture capitalists need to see is growth, a steady stream of growth. And I imagine that what you've done with Appsumo, while maybe marginally profitable or a test, probably did the most for you to show that you can grow your business, right? Like,
right. I think it's a double-edged sword. So Appsumo actually gives you sort of a litmus test that you could use, cost-free litmus test that you could use to validate your product and your idea and where your market is. But after that, you need to grow with that leverage that you used before, which is Appsumo. You have your own pipeline. You have to have your own inbound and outbound pipeline. How you can prove yourself that you could grow, because I mean, the VCs aren't stupid. They want to know whether you can do this sustainably by yourself, right? So that's how it is.
So tell us how you grow today. What does your sales and marketing apparatus look like?
Right. So basically, we have a shift. Okay, so we were growing month on month about 22, 23-ish% pre-COVID, right? So it was looking quite well. We are on track of hitting all our milestones. Then, I mean, COVID hit, so we were hit as well. So the VCs, okay, so we are not funded by just one VC. 500 is the lead investor, so we have other VCs as well. So all of them were actually telling us, hey, we gotta be on sort of a survival mode, not just on a growth mode, because COVID is gonna last well beyond 2022.
2022?
Yeah, it's gonna be more than 22. Most likely it's gonna be 2021 mid. And even then, economy may just be sort of be back to pre-COVID about 80 to 90%. That's what they're telling us. When COVID just hit, so we had a call, we jumped on a call in April. So we were not that aggressive on the growth targets at 30% month to month anymore. So right now it's about 50 to 20%. That's where we think it's quality growth without burning so much and risking it all, right? How we do it, basically, I think there is a different channels and pipelines. So basically, we use outbound prospecting. LinkedIn is one very good way of doing it. We do a lot of content. Right now, we are ramping up on content, especially a lot of videos, video content, guidebooks, playbooks out there that people can use. And then run ads, let them see through all this content, which qualifies and educate the prospects, right? And when they are mature enough, we'll actually set up a call with them, right? So outbound prospecting is actually meant to validate the industries that you think there might be a fit. Once you talk to enough people, you want to scale it up with ads, but the nurturing process has to be done with content, right? And the content right now in this COVID situation, video is the best way. I think there's a term called video sales letter. It's getting traction right now, at least in the world that I'm in, BD and in digital space. Video sales letter is one very effective and powerful tool. That if you don't know, you should go check it out. Yeah.
What's a video sales letter?
Basically, if I were to summarize it, you first of all, you have a persona in mind of who the customer is. As with any sales, you probably have or marketing, you already know who your target customer is. So you talk to them about the problem that they face, the benefit I may bring to you, which is what your current stage is and the ideal dream state that I could bring you to, right? And then I'll talk about the benefits of what my product can bring to you on the career level, on the personal level, on the company level, right? It is like a sales pitch, but done very targeted to the personas, target of your target audience, and done in the way that it's a video that can be replayable millions of times.
Sure. How do you validate an industry? Like, what are the steps you take to validate whether or not an industry is good for you?
Right. Basically, you have to create an Excel sheet, right? And in that Excel sheet, you must have ideas of, say, hey, I think home security is a good industry that I want to they want to go into. The ticket size is about 1,000, 2,000 plus, depending. And they want to have a site visit. They want to arrange a call. So hey, it seems to be a good fit, at least from what I think. So then you have a lot of other questions, such as who should be the one that I'm talking to? Is it the marketing director? If it is, then what is his concern? What is his key concern over the next 3 to 6 months? What is his KPI now? Can I hit his KPI? And then what is his worry? Why didn't he do it before? What is the difference that I can provide to him? And you have to answer all these questions. Then you draft out a pitch, and then you try to test it out on people you know, referrals, LinkedIn, reach out to any of them. Right? You have to hustle the way through. Once you get enough tests numbers, about close to about 50, that would be a good number, and then you can consider it as validated and then move on. So
Wow.
video sales ladder, yeah.
So it's clear that you're bringing business strategy and marketing prowess to this organization.
Maybe not the marketing prowess, more of maybe setting up the processes, making that connections, doing all the calls. Yeah, because the co-founder is the one who actually, JJ, who is actually helping me with the marketing. Because if not, it will get to be too big of a monster to deal with myself.
Wow. So for the rest of 2020 into 21, it's protect your business, grow at a little bit of a lower month-over-month scale. I mean, that's really, I mean, it's good that you can grow month-over-month and actually grow in this time. And I would actually argue that the current moment, in some ways, while it changes the demeanor of how consumers think about spending money, that's going to be one massive challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who are looking to spend money, you're going to provide outsized value because you mitigate a lot of challenges that otherwise can't be solved for.
Right. So we're fortunate to be in a position whereby we can see the usage and behavior of certain industries. Are their core volumes actually getting more? That's a clear indication of their sales, right? And then who are actually at zero. So we found that you can categorize yourself in 3 manners. We've seen that in the US data, we see that in the Singapore data, we see that in the Australia data. So basically, the 3 categories are those that are hurt very badly. They tend to be in the travel space or the hospitality space. Anywhere between 80 to 90%. 80% to 100% revenue drop, right? Revenue drop is not that bad. They still have to refund. That is a big hole that they are having trouble to cover.
Right. Not only are you not getting more money in, the money that you have and you have to refund, and you may have actually spent against that already. Oh,
yeah, and they have no idea when this thing will be over, right? And they still have to pay their staff. So if there is no government support, I mean, you can see the airlines are going bust here and there, everywhere. Yeah, so those are the ones that get badly affected. And then those who are actually doing okay, they are suffering. They didn't suffer that much. It's still manageable. So their revenue is about 90 to 110%. So it's just normal economic activity, right? They tend to be in essential services, logistics.
Which sort? Oh, logistics.
Logistics. In the medical space, so pediatrician, I mean, they still consider essential service. They can't
critical services.
And these services, unfortunately, in my view, they have a limit on how much more that they can provide. right? Your clinic is the physical clinic, right? You can't scale 10 times more because there is a 10 times more demand. Unfortunately, you can't. The staff is there. So that's why they can grow, but there's a cap on how much they can grow, right? And then those that are doing very well, I've seen one with 600% increase. I think, so they're one of our case studies. It's called White Jacobs. They help people with credit repair. Basically, at this point in time, you want to lower your mortgage fee, etc. You just want to have a better credit score. So you work with them. They help you work out what you have and improve your credit score so you can get a better interest rate for all your purchases. So these people who are winning, far and few between, but they exist. They tend to be providing services, and they can do and operate online. So I heard those people are selling alcohol, they're growing about 3 times more or 4 times more. People are staying at home, not sure what to do, then they drink. Yeah. So yeah, that's the reality that we're facing in the COVID pandemic situation right now.
Very good. Cool, Han. I think we're going to wrap up the interview. This is fantastic. I think, you know, what I like about this is, you know, the mission for me has always been, I want to learn from really smart people about the things that their experiences about growing. And I think you dropped a lot of really interesting points of view around how other businesses can grow and scale. And I particularly like your strategic guidelines for identifying and validating an audience. How do people, tell us about your website, how do people reach you? Tell us a little bit more about like the costs or whatever you want to share about your service so that people can like give it a run.
Right, thank you for giving airtime on that. Basically, you can reach out to me via our website. It's called novocall.co. So novocall.co. Just go there, visit what we have, look at the case studies, see whether they resonate with you. And if they do, just send your inquiries there and I'll follow up with you. You can drop your, maybe just mention that you saw this video, just mention Robert. Yeah, then I'll have a call with you and see how we can help. So basically, if you want to have more conversations with your clients, with your prospects, and you're spending ad dollars to bring them in, you want to fix the leaky bucket that you have in your sales processes, you can try and give our product a go.
Very good. Han from Novacall, thank you so much for being with us today.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me, Robert. Thank you, everyone.